I am not teaching, I am publicly learning. But hi and welcome to Learning for a Life in UK test part 624 while doing medial plane training. And if you participate in the medial plane training in the second half of the video, this is our risk. The medial plane training is once for the body, and we are training isometric exercises out of the medial plane line. Now, we already did one video about the Northern Ireland Parliament and the Northern Ireland Assembly altogether, and we did a video about the Northern Ireland Parliament. Logically, we need a video about the Northern Ireland Assembly. These videos are videos we're shooting. We're always coming from a book and looking for a little subject about which we can make a presentation, record it in a separate video, and publish it separately. Now, the Northern Ireland Assembly. Where we're going to start a little differently than the Northern Ireland Parliament. We're going to say that there is the Northern Ireland Assembly. And the people in there are called MLAS, Members of Legislative Assembly. 9 of them are there. And they were first elected in 1999, but then they were suspended from 2002 until 2007. But when, again, reinstated, they use a form of proportional representation to be elected in. And the ministerial offices are shared between main political parties, or differently expressed, there is a power-sharing agreement which distributes ministerial offices amongst the main parties. And they can make decisions on education, agriculture, the environment, health and social services. Has been suspended several times in a row, from 2007 until 2002 until 2007, or then again and again and again. When we're going to talk about the history, do we talk about the history? Not really. We're here for the Northern Ireland Assembly. People who come from the Northern Ireland Assembly, do we want to hear about the development of the Northern Ireland Assembly? We're going to do it after we talk about it. If we do. Do we do it? Not really. It doesn't fit. I don't think so. I have a second camera running there, and now I try to say what we have to the Northern Ireland Assembly. It's just the Northern Ireland Assembly. We are therefore Northern Ireland Assembly. Yes, we have. This is a good argument. We have information here. We could just say it. People could watch it if they watch the video longer. We did it when we did the Northern Ireland Parliament and when we did both together. I don't know. The Northern Ireland Assembly. The Northern Ireland Assembly is the devolved administration in Northern Ireland. There are 2 other ones in the United Kingdom. One is in Scotland, in Edinburgh, the Scottish Parliament, and another one is in Wales, in Cardiff, the Senate. And so there's the Senate in Wales, the Scottish Parliament in Scotland, and the other devolved administration in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, the Northern Ireland Assembly. That's all part of the United Kingdom, and the main government is in London, the London government. Now, the Northern Ireland Assembly in Northern Ireland, that exists since 1999. And in it are 90 MLAS, that means Members of Legislative Assembly, so there are 90 people in it. And these 90 people, they are elected based on proportional representation, and there is an agreement on how the ministerial offices are shared between the main political parties. They cannot, as the other devolved administrations in Scotland and for Wales, not govern in areas like defence or foreign affairs or social security, but the one in Northern Ireland, they can govern in education and in agriculture, in the environment, and in health and in social services. And I think that's it. I don't know. I want to know what's written here. That's all. That's actually all. We don't have to say that it was suspended. I basically summed it about that thing. Social services. Now what is written here? Social security. What is social security if it's not social services? Is there another name for police? I thought it was the same. It's not. Let's do it again. The Northern Ireland Assembly. The Northern Ireland Assembly is the devolved administration in Northern Ireland, in the United Kingdom. In the United Kingdom, there are 3 devolved administrations. The main government is in London, but when there are other areas, a part of England with London, there is Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. And in Wales, there is a devolved administration, and that is the Senate. And in Scotland, there is the Scottish Parliament, and in Northern Ireland, there's the Northern Ireland Assembly. And these 3 are called devolved administrations. They have also some right to govern. They can't govern in all affairs, like defence or in social security or foreign affairs, where London is governing, all part of the United Kingdom. But in these three other areas where these devolved administrations in the Northern Ireland. It is the Northern Ireland Assembly. And that exists since 1999. And in it are 90 MLAs, are they called, Members of Legislative Assembly. And they can govern in areas like education, or the environment, or agriculture, or health and social services. And that is according to the Life in UK Test Handbook, page 160. And a bit wondering, did this everything with the power sharing agreement in this part? I don't think so. But it was a pretty short one. But as I said, we're not going to include the history. The people for the Northern Ireland Assembly, they are here for the Northern Ireland Assembly, not for the history of Ireland, or the United Kingdom, or the world. I'm going to stop that camera. And I said it a couple of times, we want to do one more video, and that is called The Devolved Administrations of the United Kingdom. Basically what we just said, just with a few facts. We want to say the facts, and these are facts, it's story to remember is a little easier. They are all made in 1999. The thing is just they have written established after the Belfast Agreement of 1998. Yes, the Good Friday Agreement, the Belfast Agreement, but it was first elected in 1999, so 1999. And now the problem with this data is, as I already said, they have written to the Senate that they are elected every 4 years. They didn't send it to the Scottish Parliament. They said to the Scottish Parliament and the Northern Ireland Assembly that they are both on proportional representation. Are the one in the Senate not? That would be actually possible. I don't know what proportional representation means. That is a little problem. And actually, you cannot just throw the words proportional representation out there and expect people to know what is meant with it. Proportional representation to what? To the political parties. Because I thought the whole time it's the same as the constituencies. Every area has a proportional representation. Now what it means for the main political parties, because here's written that there is a power sharing agreement which distributes ministerial offices amongst the main parties in the Northern Ireland Assembly. What if it's also every party has the right to so many seats? Is there any voting at all? Scottish Parliament elections use a form of proportional representation. Proportional representation doesn't have to have elections. It's written under elections. At the end of the day, we have no idea what is meant. You might just skip it and don't say it at all. They are somehow elected. 60 in Wales, SMs, 129 in Edinburgh, members of Scottish Parliament, and 90 in Northern Ireland. And there was a Northern Ireland Parliament, 1922, 1972, but after the Troubles had started, which were basically already the origin of it, it was founded in 1922 because of the peace treaty and the disagreement, and the disagreement was the reason for the abolishing 1969 the Troubles. And with these things they can, do we really have to learn them like that? Education and training, health and social services, economy and housing. Economic development. And the ones in Scotland, they can civil and criminal law, health, education planning, and additional tax raising powers. Was that actually right? And the ones in Northern Ireland, they can, I said it just 3 times, or 2 times at least. Education, agriculture, the environment, health and social services. We're basically ending the whole thing now with 2 more questions. We don't know the difference between social services and social security. Are not the social services making sure that the social security exists? And the second question is that we don't know what proportional representation is. If you are here to make a video about the devolved administrations, you can go directly to the next video, because here we're gonna do just the medial plane training. If you participate in the medial plane training, that's their own risk. We're warming up. Yes, we're bringing our leg up and putting the foot down. If you participate, this is their own risk. We're bringing the other leg up and putting the foot down, the mushroom. Now we're doing chunking mitral legs, standing wide apart, and the breathing in, going down. And out. and again in. Out. Now we've been close the legs. And out. First exercise. We're bringing one leg up. Right angle with the leg, flex foot, even line hips taller with the back, and we're pressing from the top against the knee. You can do it quite easy. Already standing at it's an exercise. You can do it with quite a lot of effort. Or if you're a bit injured, just don't take it hard. Don't take it that hard. Even line hips, taller with the back, and a little bend in the elbow. Now changing the leg. The other leg up. Right angle with the leg, flexed foot, even line hips, taller with the back, and we're pressing from the top against the knee. And a little bend in the elbow. Even line hips, taller with the back, and a little bend in the elbow. And the next exercise. One leg up. And now we're pressing from the inside against the knee. The government wouldn't necessarily include the elections to the government. It's just what the government is. But it belongs very much to it. We don't have to include the monarch. We don't have to include the social services, the civil services. We have changed the leg. We don't have to explain the other constitutional institutions, as it would be when with the judiciary and the criminal and civil courts. Next exercise. Now we have one more. Leg up, and now the knee presses up and to the side, and to the side. So I think that would be a good video. The elections, but we don't have to talk about how the democratic election came about, the history of it, and also not how the electing happens, what we have there with the electoral register. That's it. If you explain the electoral register in a video about the government, that's a bit too far away. You're going to explain the elections, but not the electoral register. We're going to first do the electoral register video. If we do one, I don't think we do one. But so we're first going to read it. Next exercise, the heavy swing down. We're having a right angle with the leg, a flexed foot, even line hips, taller with the back. We're pressing from the outside against the knee, and we're opening slowly. You're going to do first the default administration video. And then we go on and look what is written there to the electoral register, where to vote, who can vote. And with maybe the party system, but we already already. You already have the whole book. This is part 624. And it's about a foot. Even line hips, taller with the back, and have a little bend in the elbow. And when we go back and look, what would be our big video about the government? Upper leg up. And we're pressing the outside against it. Maybe we can explain that one pretty fast. That there is the monarch, and that there is the judiciary, and let's say what it is and what happens there. The judiciary, and that there is the civil service. Did we mention police? And then also that it all happens in the parliament. So we have the monarch, parliament, prime minister, cabinet, judiciary, wasn't police then? Police, civil services, and I think I skipped one. We're going to do the third time. I am just pausing again. And the closing exercise, legs one apart, and we're beginning again. Out. Again. Out. And everything close the legs. And out. Now we move also to the constitution. Monarch, parliament, prime minister, cabinet, judiciary, civil service, police, and local government. Monarchy, parliament, prime minister, cabinet, judiciary, police, civil service, and local government. So in our video about the government, in the UK, there are several different parts of government. The main ones are. So we should go first about the judiciary a bit, and police, and then we're going back to that. So if you're here for the video about the devolved administrations, you can go directly to the next video. Thank you very much, and until the next time.